Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cali Sports Report. I'm Ethan Hanson. That guy in the ugly Giants jersey is Zac
It's
Groff.
a beautiful jersey.
You know what? Whatever, man. All I know is we got a lot to talk about today. And first of all, bam! Power to the ice. Called it on Twitter this morning, just before game time. Every single tournament, every great tournament, Zach has got to have an incredible upset. And lo and behold, we got Iceland, a country of 330,000, making its first international appearance against the great English tradition. And Iceland defeated England by a final score of 2-1, and possibly capping off the greatest upset in soccer history. I mean, I've only been in this earth for about 23 years, but as far as soccer is concerned, this is the big one of upsets in the world of sports. What are you doing? Fixing the shirt there? You got it?
Yeah.
All right.
This is a big one, and it was one of those things where it really digs the knife deep. I mean, Iceland took a really early lead. I think it was the 16th minute where they took the 1-goal lead, and so not only did England fans have the rest of the game to wallow in self-pity and fill themselves with self-doubt, that it was torture. For 74 minutes of the game, it was absolute torture. And England it was like they were down 4-1, they might as well have been. The way they played, they didn't play with heart. They couldn't convert numerous opportunities. And the better team won today. Iceland played with no regrets. They left everything on the field. And good luck to them next game against France.
Yeah. The way Iceland played, I mean, there was about a 3-minute gap when it looked like Iceland might have gone down and it was going to be business, because of course Wayne Rooney took the PK on an early foul, scored. It was 1-0, but then 2 minutes later, Iceland came back with a vengeance, able to score that first goal. Just a quicker, more physical, more intimidating. The passing was just a lot more crisp. And after that first goal, you just kind of had this sense that was pretty much the first punch of what was going to be the knockout blow for England.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, if you're up 1-0 against a team who has not even been to a major tournament prior to this. I mean, they don't even have a soccer league. Like, they can't even compete in Champions League. And they have less active soccer players in the entire country than Rhode Island does.
Yeah, mention that the soccer coach is also a dentist. He's not only a soccer coach, but he is your dentist as well. I mean, there is some small town that won't be sleeping tonight because, as Zach was telling me earlier, that the sun isn't going to set until 12 o'clock midnight tonight, and then it's only going to set for 3 hours. You're going to wake up in Iceland 3 a.m., and it's going to be completely sunny. The party's never going to stop. This has been probably the most magical summer to date in Icelandic history, maybe other than the independence of its country itself. I mean, if there's one place that you want to be, unless you're an England fan, it is Iceland.
Yeah. If you are in Europe right now, Iceland's the place to head to because they're having a party night.
Yeah. All right. Now, just talk about now how this is going to affect England, and what this is going to do for the psyche. I mean, it's already been a pretty chaotic week with England seeding from the European Union, although I don't think that politics and soccer necessarily mix. However, on the other end, it almost pretty much fit the puzzle in what has been one of the most bizarre weeks in the nation's history of England. What are your thoughts on that? And do you think it was just a perfect storm of bad things waiting to happen?
I don't think the Brexit and this loss have anything to do with each other. But I do feel like England's that team where they're in the conversation and there's a lot they could win titles, but they really haven't. People are talking about how Messi's been to 4 straight title games and come away with no hardware. England hasn't even been to a final match. I mean, they haven't even they've never won a Euro. They won one World Cup in '66.
Yes.
And I think their best appearance in a World Cup was a quarterfinal since then.
Yeah, and that was in 19. Yeah, that was in 2006. Did not even make it out of the group stage in Brazil. Their last major win at a European Championship was a third place finish in 1968. So with all the talent that has been introduced in England, with all the talent that they have now, with Jamie Vardy, with Daniel Sturridge, of course with Wayne Rooney being the great captain that he was. I mean, some of the fans in England were booing too, which I thought was really, really disrespectful. I mean, as poorly as England played, I think that at the same time too, this was more about Iceland just proving that it was just mentally tougher, just more ready to play. They came together, and this was an English team that just I don't think knew what was coming. And here's Zac Groff taking in the highlights. Meanwhile, we're gonna give you watching that first goal that came off the set piece, and then anyway, so he's watching the highlights. Zach.
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah.
You in there?
I'm watching the goal.
Yeah, he's watching the goal. He was doing some work later on, and it was the Helder second goal by their goalie for England. Yeah, deflected off of his left hand. So now that you actually saw the highlights before watching the last 30 minutes.
I mean, the set piece goal that was beautifully executed, and I don't think England was able to defend properly against. And then the other one, that was just bad luck. I mean, Hart's not a bad goalie. It just sometimes the ball rolls in your favor, sometimes it doesn't. But it was not just the 2 goals in the matter of 12 minutes that really set the tone and gave Iceland the chance to win. It was the fact that they were able to defend expertly for 70 plus minutes to maintain that lead. I mean, being up 2-1 early in a game, especially with a young team with not a lot of international experience, you could be looking at a team that's going to get so full of itself and like we're gonna win, we're winning, we're gonna win, and then before you know it, they're down 3-2. And the entire mood is shifted and they lose the game because they're so distraught. This is a team that was like, okay, we have a 2-1 lead. We are not giving up that goal. No matter what happens, there is nothing that can get in that match.
Yeah, and the way Iceland played defensively, I mean, the crispness that they played. I mean, soccer can, obviously it can be very, very physical and at the same time kind of a grind. I mean, watching the Italian game that they won, there was a lot of shirt pulling with them and Spain. Speaking of upsets, by the way, I mean Italy knocking out the 2-time defending champions Spain. I mean,
they're just not that good anymore. I mean when they won the World Cup, that was an amazing feat because
I'm about to put this ice away. Yeah. By the way, congratulations, Iceland. You guys deserved it. Every single bit of this ice is yours.
When Spain won the World Cup, it was a style of play that really what's the offense where the running back starts with the ball in football?
High formation?
No.
The Wildcat?
The Wildcat. It was Wildcat. It worked because they weren't used to the way it worked. But, I mean, ever since Netherlands dropped the hammer on Spain in the World Cup in Brazil, it hasn't been the same. And so Spain as a national team hasn't been the same. So them losing to Italy, a team that's on the upswing, is just two ships passing the night.
Yeah, and the funny part is, and this is why this UEFA European Championship has got to be, I mean, one of the most exciting to memory. I mean, you've got more teams in the tournament than you did in previous years, but just all these storylines with Iceland. I mean, an Italian team that many thought were, they were tough, they were gritty, but maybe didn't necessarily have the world class talent that they did in the past. But what they lacked in talent was what Iceland had today. They made up for in chemistry, tough, disciplined defense, just making the smart play, not trying to overdo everything, not trying to force a ball that you don't have to. This World Cup, with this European Championship, with all the storylines, has got to be one of the best in recent memory.
The three teams have their first international knockout victory: Poland, Wales, and now Iceland.
Yeah, so congratulations to those teams, and man, a Polish team that, speaking of tongue, jeez. So now, moving on. Now Iceland has already knocked off England, which by and far is one of the top upsets in the history of soccer. Now they're playing the host country, France.
In Paris.
In Paris. So if Iceland can somehow keep the Cinderella story going, if this is an upset against England, what does it make it if Iceland somehow is able to beat France?
Well, I would say England's a better team, but I don't think France is that good either. I mean, they're about the same. They're in their early teens. They're definitely not a Germany. They're definitely not a Chile, I guess you could say, or Colombia when they're at full strength. They're a good team. They're not like a world power in soccer.
So, but still, with that being said, do you think that Iceland, now that it's proven that it can beat England, what is your prediction? Do you think that Iceland somehow beats France in Paris?
I think they can, because soccer is like football. Any given day, anyone can win. It's all a matter of who puts the ball in the net more. But Iceland, I just want you to know that you should just enjoy this moment. Your first international tournament, your first international win in a knockout stage. This is a moment that no matter what can never be taken away. You came onto the field and you took down a great soccer nation. The fact whether you win or lose against France, I know you're going to put 100% effort into it, and I know that it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, I'm just going to echo what Zach said. I mean, if I were the president right now, today's June 27th. This is the last game that they win for the next 6 months, or their last tournament that they win, for the last tournament win that they have for a while. I would mark this particular date as a national holiday, because it is. I mean, you saw the people of Iceland. I mean, you probably couldn't even go to get yourself a nice clean shave or get yourself a haircut because everybody was at home or at the bar or at some meeting place watching this game.
There was a square they showed in Reykjavik where it was filled to the brim with people. I'm pretty sure that was 90% of Iceland.
So you know what, Iceland? Enjoy this victory. This is not only your soccer teams, but this is your people's. And I'm honestly excited to see what Iceland has in store. Now let's see if they can continue on in this tournament and then possibly later on compete in the World Cup. I mean, a small nation like that, and to compete the way that they have, it's unbelievable. It's one of the best stories, one of the best sports stories of 2016, and And like I predicted against England, I'll make a bold prediction, and I will say that they will beat France. France, the ice is nice, and I think the Vikings are coming for you, or is that family?
I don't know.
I don't know. All right, but yeah,
Really don't have
the ice is coming for you. I'm gonna say that France is gonna beat Iceland is gonna beat France. So now, moving on from one soccer upset to the travesty heartbreak of Lionel Messi, who missed a penalty kick against Chile. Chile ended up winning for the second consecutive time the Copa America against Argentina in PKs 4-2 after Messi missed the penalty kick. He said that he's probably going to quit the national team for a while. Before I get into this, tell me your thoughts on what happened yesterday, and if there's anything you have to say to Messi.
I think that it was just soccer is one of those things where everything can go right but one thing and it can go and turn out wrong. Messi had Bravo beat and the ball it was just a little bit too high, a little bit too much arc on it, and it ended up being costly. I had a feeling that if the game went to penalty kicks, Argentina was at a distinct disadvantage because Claudio Bravo is a solid goalie. I believe he had three straight clean sheets in the Copa Centaria, and I mean Messi missing it was definitely detrimental to Argentina's spirit at the time. This game was also a repeat of last year where Chile beat Argentina on penalty kicks in the final. It was just one of those games where Messi you need to just put it away and not think about it ever again, not let anyone get you down. As for retiring from Argentina, you can't retire from Argentina. If you retire now, it's gonna haunt you forever. You guys are so close. 4 straight title matches, no hardware. That's understandable. I mean, you guys are growing. You guys are a nation that is on the rise. I mean, I would still pick you in any game against any team. And soccer again is one of those things where everything can go right for one thing and it turns out wrong. So Messi, just take a few days, relax, just put it behind you. That game was just a bad game.
Yeah. For Messi, I mean, being a professional athlete, there's always the pressure of the moment, and somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose. That's just the way of sports. I mean, you know what? You can tie in a friendly, you can even tie in a group stage, a league game, what have you. But you know what? When it comes down to it, somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. And I don't think that your play, Lionel Messi, should be diminished. It doesn't make you any worse of a player for doing what you did. However, I will be there to point out that, you know what, being a professional athlete, you are held on such a high pedestal that people expect you as the face of Argentinian soccer to stand up, to rise up, to shake it up, and move on. There's this saying in America where, you know what, if you get knocked off the horse, you get back on and you try to ride again. Messi, you got knocked off your horse, and you got knocked off your horse pretty darn good. I mean, this was a moment where all you had to do was just do what you've done 1,000 times in practice, 1,000 times in other games, and just had to do it there. But you didn't get it done. But the response that you had by saying that, oh, I'm just going to retire from soccer and put on this pity party, it's completely inappropriate. You know what? It was probably in the moment, so I think that Messi is gonna, take about a week or so to get his head straight, get it together, and he'll be back playing. But you know what? If this is him retiring from Argentinian soccer due to the politics of it, where there's a lot of bad politics going on, that's understandable. But if you're gonna let this one moment get you down, in a moment that wasn't even in the World Cup, that didn't even wasn't actually going to determine whether you go to the World Cup or not, or even in the World Cup, buddy, you just got to buck up, face the music, and get back on that horse. Because you know what? You are still the best soccer player in the entire world. Nobody can do what you do. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo, James Rodriguez, tons of players out there that are great, but you are the only person that can do what you do. You hit angles that nobody else can do. You hit shots. I mean, you are a great player and you thrive in the moment. It's a reason why you got an assist and 2 goals and probably the free kick goal of the year against the United States. So you know what, Messi? The only thing we have here from the San Fernando Valley is shake off, move on. It's not the end of the world. You will get past this, and I think that you will be back in that Argentinian uniform very, very soon. Any closing thoughts? Yeah, for the 2018 World Cup. But any thoughts?
No thoughts right now. Just, we'll be back.
We love you, Messi. So now moving on to free agency. Lakers are supposed to be in the running to land Hassan Whiteside, who averaged 16 points last year, shot 63% from the field, was the leading shot blocker in the NBA last year. Do you think that this man is worth a max contract? And we just got breaking news that Roy Hodgson will not return as England head coach. Before we jump into Laker free agency, what does that mean for England? And who do you think should be now in charge of holding the Queen's team in Great Britain?
Well, Manchester United lost their head coach at the end of the season too because of a disappointing start. I think they finished 6th. It was something that the commentators talked about on the way here. Is that if Iceland did win this game, that he would no longer be the head coach. I think it's a prudent move because they have Wayne Rooney, and he really hasn't lived up to the potential that he can bring to the table. So it's gonna be who they think will be the solid coach at building a team. So I would look and see who can really take a team from nothing and build them up into something. Hint, Leicester. I would look at somebody who can develop a pipeline of players so that you can consistently be good and that you can eventually win a World Series a la Germany.
All right, and one thing I like about this English team, you have Daniel Sturridge, you've got Jamie Vardy, you've got players, young talent that in 2 or 3 years you mature them up. Meanwhile, Groff is getting his Dr. Pepper. But you've got guys like Jamie Vardy and Daniel Sturridge who are bona fide studs in about 2 or 3 years. I definitely see them being, at that elite level that Wayne Rooney is at right now. His play is diminishing. These young guys are on the uprise. So I don't think that this is the end for England. In fact, I think it's more of just the beginning because Wayne Rooney came up with David Beckham as well, played with David Beckham. Now you got this younger generation and improved, sort of evolution that you could say that could be coming from England. So you know what? All things considered, England, you guys just got beat by a better team today. That's just all there is to it. I mean, it doesn't matter how small the country is. They were the better team. They performed. They did the things. Iceland did the things that they needed to do in order to win. You just didn't. Not the end of the world, though. I'm still looking forward to seeing England in the next World Cup. And I love Daniel Sturridge, and I love the player Jamie Vardy.
As I said before, I'll say again, soccer is an any given Sunday kind of game. I mean, you could have 1,000 shots on goal, but if none of them go in, then you could lose.
All right. So now back to Lakers free agency. Hassan Whiteside, leading shot blocker of the NBA last year, 16 points. It's a battle between the Heat and Lakers. Pat Riley versus Mitch Kupchak. Who can lure this man? Do you think that the Lakers should give him the max deal? And what do you think of him in the backcourt along with Julius Randle and Roy Hibbert still with the team, possibly coming off the bench?
I think it could be a solid move. I mean, a shot blocker, that's definitely a thing that the Lakers have lacked is defense. I mean, when they were winning or they were playing games last year, if they didn't go into triple digits, then that was a slow game. It was a high scoring game every time, and if they have somebody who can shut down defenders and slow the game down and not require as many points, that's always a positive. Whether or not he deserves a max deal,
$60 million in the salary cap.
We have the cap space for him, but is it something that we if he's the best we can get, because we can't get Durant, we can't get LeBron. Sorry, Stephen A. Smith. Doesn't matter that his kids are enrolled in school at Brentwood. He's still going to live out here. Still going to play for Cleveland. I think that if he's the best that we can get, because Durant wants to go to some team that's going to win now, and LeBron's going to stay in Cleveland. It's just that would be a shot worth taking. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's the best opportunity. Obviously, Durant or LeBron would be better for the team, but it's a solid go.
Yeah, no. Anybody, I think I talked about this last week. How John Ireland said that LeBron was going to come to the Lakers because of Space Jam 2, whatever the heck he was saying. Let's just again put on the brakes and let's just relax. Just because you have a bunch of NBA superstars that live in Los Angeles doesn't mean that everybody is going to play for that team. All right, LeBron could have his sons enrolled at Chatsworth High School right across from where I live. Does not mean that he's going to be that way.
It's Mike right there.
Shout out to Mike Moustakis and the suspended Josh Raven and Mike Dominguez, the great baseball powerhouse of Chatsworth High School. But just because you got guys that live in Los Angeles doesn't mean that they're going to come. I don't expect LeBron to come, and nor should he. He should stay at Cleveland until the end of his career. If he wants to come to LA after the twilight of his career, and you know what, maybe he's a little bit old and broken down, maybe. But other than that, LeBron, keep winning championships in Cleveland. That is your town, that is your city, and if I have to see another jersey burn, I might lose it.
He should retire and play for the Indians farm team in right field.
Right field?
Right field.
I think he should play for the Browns. I see him, good 36-year-old tight end. Let him play for a year. No. No? Why not?
Why would you waste talent from playing football?
What do you mean, man? It's
the Browns. Have you met them? Have you seen them?
Yeah.
Their last big draft signing. His attorney accidentally texted the AP that they're seeking a legal plea for his domestic violence case.
Don't get me started, Johnny Manziel. That's a bad word on this show. But no, LeBron's not going to come. Kevin Durant, do what you're going to do. However, with the Lakers being 26th last year in field goal percentage, I like this move. Hassan Whiteside is still only 27 years old. He actually played in China, was actually drafted by the King, and played in China for a couple of years, matured his game. He's been pretty solid for the Heat. Some concerns about his character. However, I think that when you come to the Lakers and you start having conversations with guys like Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who still does center clinics and still helps guys with their games. If he can develop a skyhook and just add some finesse to his athletic ability, I think he would be a tremendous free agent signing. Lakers still got a lot of work to do, but part of winning in this league now is having that power defender on the inside. The Warriors have it with Andrew Bogut, and even Anderson Varejao, who came up about short, but I would still say defensively he played pretty well. I mean, you've got Thompson with Cleveland.
He trained with the Argentine ice dancers in the mastering of philosophy.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, he does do that a lot. Yeah. Okay, you know what? Forget Anderson there. But you got Thompson. One of the marks of these NBA teams that are winning these championships now is having that guy in the middle that can defend. And I think that he's a lot quicker too, in my opinion, watching him than he is DeAndre Jordan. And of course, he did lead the league.
And he plays defense.
Yeah, I mean, DeAndre Jordan. I love watching DeAndre Jordan play because he's such an athletic specimen. I love watching him fly around and have Chris Paul set him up for the alley-oops, and having Ralph Waller say slam dunk. But at the same time too, he's too much flash, not enough jam.
He airballs free throws.
And another fact, he shot DeAndre Jordan shot 51% from the free throw line, and as funny as this is going to sound, Hassan Whiteside shot a respectable 66.4% from the free throw line. So you get a better free throw shooter as well. So Hassan Whiteside. Now we're moving on to the Dodgers. You pretty much got what you wanted after the Dodgers went streaking a little bit. They dropped 3 of 4. They closed out the series with the Pirates by coming back and winning 5 to 4. But Kershaw got roughed up. Only his second loss of the season. This is a Dodgers team right now that, I mean, you know what? They go and they win 6, 7 in a row, and then they drop 3 or 4 in Pittsburgh. I mean, they're such an enigma right now, and it's almost as though they just can't seem to put all the pieces together. What were your thoughts on the series? And then, of course, because this is the Cali Sports Report, we got to talk about the NorCal teams too, and we'll let Zac Groff talk about his Giants. He's getting a tweet, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I just want to say that despite my hate for the Dodgers, Corey Seager went 12 for 24, had a double, a home run, 2 RBIs, and 5 runs. That's a solid week, especially in one where you almost get swept over a weekend series. The Kershaw game, that was just a bad game.
It happens.
The Dodgers are now 15-2 when Kershaw pitches, and that's their opponent's batting average is like less than 200, and that's not just Kershaw. That's bullpen, that's closer, that's everyone. When Kershaw starts a game, the opponent's batting average is 200, and the Pirates are one of those teams where they can win. I mean, the Giants played them for a 4-game series earlier this week, or early last week, and that was a high-scoring series. I mean, we had a 7-6 win, we had a 15-4 win, we had a 1-0 loss that was an Angel Pagan home run away from going to extra innings. I mean, that was a great series, and as bad as the Pittsburgh Pirates look record-wise, they're not
a bad team.
They're not a walkover. I mean, McCutcheon is definitely a great player and not somebody to be taken lightly, I guess you could say. But the Dodgers, Losing on Clayton Kershaw tonight got to hurt. But the good news is that you won today, and you at least didn't get swept. They're still in the top 10 among teams, and I believe they reached 40 wins, which there are some teams that still have not reached 40 wins.
Yeah.
So go them, and but as far as the Giants go, we have our annual Bay Bridge series that starts today. So we play 2 at home against the Athletics, and then we play 2 on the road against the Athletics. So
that'll be fun.
That'll be fun. We have Jeff Samardzija going right now. He had a rocky road trip. His last 2 starts, he's really reverted to his old White Sox form, where he's given up a lot of home runs, and I hope that tonight he can revert back to the Giants form that we know and love. He was second behind Kershaw prior to the road trip in average number of pitches thrown in a start. He was at like 107, and Kershaw was at like 108.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, Angel Pagan, welcome back. The Grand Slam. I mean, he's been piling up hits. He went 4 for 5 yesterday, and every time he gets a hit, he does this salute, and it's the highlight of every hit that he has. I want him to get a hit just because I want to see it. Belt is just on fire. I mean, Belt is a great first baseman. Posey, great. Yesterday was a weird game. I mean, there were 3 guys that got hit by a pitch, and then 3 Giants were hit by a pitch, and then 1 Philly player that got hit by a pitch, and the strike zone got really weird after that. There was one that was, I think, against Posey that was right down the middle of the plate, and he called it a ball. Mm-hmm. There was one that he had called a strike previously in the game that was like right on the outside corner, ball. It was a wonky strike zone after that. But let's go Giants. We are the hottest team in baseball right now. And Hunter Pence, I saw you doing some batting practice, doing some tossing the ball. Can't wait to have you back. This team is fire in what is traditionally a bad month for the Giants. And Pena and Gillespie have stepped up. I mean, they combined to get the walk-off last night. Every time I see Pena hit the ball, there was this, like, I need to score on this hit every time. I mean, I saw him running into third like he was running from a pack of dogs. Just, I gotta do it. I I love it. I love the fight in the Giants players like that, and let's go Giants.
Yeah. And meanwhile, a shout out to former King Roji Vachon, who got who's going to be elected into the NHL Hall of Fame. So good job on the Kings. So now is there anything more to talk about? I mean, we got Team USA and that roster. I mean, like I said, if USA doesn't win a gold medal in
Kevin
the
Durant
Olympics,
by himself would win a gold medal.
Yeah, and then you compile onto that.
Kevin Durant and the 2 of us.
You compile that on with Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, just to name a few. Team USA is expected to dominate. So that does it for the show. I'm about to head on to the Fairfax War on the Floor tournament, watch some high school basketball. He's about to go to work, go see him at Marie Callender's, located in Northridge, right? Yeah, located in Northridge. If you buy an entree, you get a free slice of pie right now with strawberry season and blueberry season. So I might head on down there myself afterward, and that just about does it. So thank you for tuning in. This has been Ethan Hanson.
I'm Zac Groff.
And this has been the Cali Sports Report. We'll see you Wednesday.